Israel says it's killed a senior Iranian commander described as one of the key architects of the October the 7th Hamas attacks. Iranian state media reports at least 430 people have been killed since Israel began its military operation just over a week ago. The husband of the exiled Belarusian opposition leader, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, is freed after more than 5 years in prison. And feeling the heat, temperatures climb in Europe and America, while the UK experiences the hottest day of the year so far.
Well, protesters against the wars in Iran and Gaza shut down parts of central London this afternoon. Thousands marched towards Whitehall carrying signs saying "Hands off Iran" and "Free Palestine," and shouting "Shame on you" as they passed a pro-Israeli counter-protest. Police said they made 8 arrests. A hot air balloon has caught fire and crashed in Brazil, killing at least 8 people. The tourist flight took off from Santa Catarina state in the country's south, but soon smoke and flames could be seen and the balloon collapsed and fell to the ground. The fire brigade says there were 13 survivors. And salvage crews have pulled the wreckage of a sunken British luxury yacht out of the water off Sicily. 7 people died when the Bayesian sank last summer, including the tech billionaire Mike Lynch and his 18-year-old daughter, Hannah. Finally, while it's the longest day of summer here, the King has sent British scientists in Antarctica a personal message to mark the shortest day of winter there.
While you may be on the far side of the world, you are never far from the thoughts of your friends, families and supporters back at home.
It's the first time a monarch has contributed to the BBC's Antarctic midwinter broadcast, and he praised the work of the teams tracking climate change. And if you've tuned in recently, you will have seen our science correspondent Martin Stew has spent the last few weeks with them. He's been the only journalist on board research ship the RRS Sir David Attenborough for an expedition deep within the Antarctic Circle. You can see the entire series of his reports now on ITVX.
Iran and Israel launched fresh attacks on each other overnight as the conflict enters its second week. Israel's military said it struck an Iranian nuclear research facility. Meanwhile, Iran fired missiles and drones in what Israel called a small barrage that it said was mostly intercepted. Well, our correspondent Debbie Edward is in at Tel Aviv. Debbie, what is the latest?
Well, there were more missile attacks overnight in central and northern Israel. We were woken up at 2:30 by the air raid sirens warning of an imminent missile attack, and the debris from one of the interceptors caused a fire on a rooftop here in Tel Aviv. Later in the morning, the north was attacked by several Iranian drones, and for the first time, one of them made it through, hitting a house, causing extensive damage, but no reported casualties. And there's been no let-up in the attacks going in the other direction. The IDF claimed to have assassinated 3 more Iranian officials and targeted nuclear facilities and missile launchers, and those attacks are ongoing this lunchtime.
And finally, today is Prince William's birthday, and I'm sure you've been wondering, what do you get the heir to the throne who has everything? The answer is puppies. The Prince of Wales has turned 43, and Kensington Palace have released a new photo of William with his family's Cocker Spaniel Orla and 3 of her 4 recently arrived puppies.
Let's take a look at today's papers. The Mirror is leading on the vote, which saw MPs narrowly back a bill to give some terminally ill adults in England and Wales the right to end their own lives. The paper says it sparked joy among supporters who were gathered outside Parliament, where opponents were also protesting against the result.
Let's have a look at the Times, emphasising the bill must now go through the Lords to become law, and says it faces an uphill battle in doing so. The Sun brands pro-Palestinian activists who broke into an RAF base and sprayed military planes with paint as airheads. The government is set to ban the Palestine Action Group as a result of what the paper calls a security shambles.
The Telegraph says every baby will have their DNA mapped by the NHS to predict and prevent disease. The paper quotes Health Secretary Wes Streeting, who says the advancements in genomics would allow people to leapfrog fatal conditions and receive personalised healthcare.
Hello again. The main stories in London now, where it has been the hottest day of the year so far, with temperatures hitting over 33 degrees Celsius in the Surrey village of Charlwood. While some were enjoying the sun, an amber heat health alert was issued for the first time since September 2023, warning people in the capital to stay safe.
Big urban areas have what we call the urban heat island effect. And they end up trapping a lot of the heat because of all the concrete and the buildings. And so that's why we see the heat really intensifying in those urban areas. And it's why those in urban regions really need to make sure that they take care during these prolonged heat wave events, because they are more likely to see some of the impacts as a result of that.
People were forced to walk down the train tracks to Loughborough Junction station this afternoon after a train broke down. Passengers on 3 Thameslink trains were stuck in carriages with no power or air conditioning as temperatures climbed in the middle of the day. Thameslink apologised and said all passengers were taken to safety. Severe delays are expected on the route for the rest of today.